What is up, hunters? It is I, SK Isma, here with my very first Monster Hunter World video. Today I'll be going over the Gunlance build that helped me gain advantage over the Elder Dragons, as well as their tempered forms. This build suits me, and if I were to rate it in difficulty and use, 1 being the easiest and 5 being the hardest, I'd rate it a 2. You'd still need to learn the monster timings, and this build is actually pretty good at that. You'd also need to learn the monster's weak points, what attack leads you to those weak points, and how to utilize the maximum amount of seconds you have in that weak point before you need to retreat or block. This would be an endgame style build for the current content because it can kill an Elder Dragon in under 15 minutes every time, guaranteed. As you saw, I set my Palico's special skill to Vigor Wasp because it let me focus on the offensive, and with my engine cannon having the heal augment already, between those two anyone should be fine. Remember, this is a build only to farm Vaal Hazzak, and it won't work if you don't have at least between 10 to 15 minutes to spend killing a tempered Elder Dragon. Now, I do have a ton of other clips of me perfectly killing Vaal Hazzak, but I feel that one of the most screw-ups show the most important lessons. And that is that you can still mess up with this build and redeem yourself by tacking on an extra attack every rotation. Now, Vaal Hazzak, like Teostra, Kirin, and Kushala, are all non-aggro Elder Dragons. So you can start off with the Wyvern shot just like I just did and get a good chunk of damage in just to start. This move he does here is supposed to be an unblockable move, but with guard up and guard 5, I can block it and it barely does anything to my stamina, which lets me go straight in and combo the crap out of him. The walking animation for that move is also supposed to push you back if you're not in the middle of an attack or a block, and it actually pushes you out of your block. But if you're in your mid combo for PlayStation, that would be triangle, circle, triangle, 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 I guess. When you're in that combo, you actually have a bit of super armor that lets you push through his walk and you won't get knocked over. And sometimes you'd end up knocking him out of his walk, which actually cancels his beam at the same time. That's a good thing to remember. Try to get in as many lunging stabs as possible because they do way more damage than the guard stabs. The guard stabs are good as for, while you're blocking, just to go for the quick hit. But the lunging stabs are where the damage is at. This is an old video, of course, so I've made a lot of mistakes in my timing and my distancing. And I used to use the Lance, and the Lance has a bit more range than this does, to be honest. As I said earlier, thanks to Guard, you can block pretty much all of his moves. And certain moves you actually can block from any direction. Whereas, if you're facing a certain direction, you can't block a move. But this move in particular, his breath down, if you're facing away and you're blocking, you can actually block it from behind you, which is weird, I guess. It's a weird hitbox. But that move actually cuts your HP in half if you don't know that. You cut your HP in half, and you're sitting there with half HP. For me, that'd be 100 HP, which is base HP for regular people, without eating at the canteen. And for regular people being at 100 HP without eating at the canteen, you're sitting at 50 HP fighting this monstrous Elder Dragon. So, yeah. And I don't think that's fun for anyone. I mean, if you are familiar with fighting Teostra, that's like fighting Teostra without Blast the very first time you go and meet him. You're just taking a lot of damage for no reason, and you kind of just want to not take the damage, because in the end, that damage will be what kills you. So, just run a Miasma 3. Run a Vitality 3 if you need to. I mean, I run a Vitality 3 because I like to survive. And those things should keep you alive. I mean, there's no reason not to. There are moments like this when he leaves himself open for a while. At first I never noticed it, so I just did the regular guard stabs just to get the damage in. But you can actually go through and combo him in between his roar and his stall. But this leads into the fight into the next area. Now, when you go to sharpen, you might want to sharpen on this slope that I'm on, because the pedestrians back there will come down and smack you out of your sharpen, and that will send you into a blood-curdling rage to go kill everything else on the map but Vaal Hazzak. Trust me, I've done it before. Maybe that's just me, though. I'm kind of sad because he's an Elder Dragon. When you get to the next stage of the fight, like, it doesn't do like a complete, change on how he does his fighting style. He just does all the same things. He just gets knocked over a lot easier now because his HP is at a lower percentage, which is apparently a thing that if their HP is below a certain percentage, they actually do take knockovers a lot easier. They do take being stumbled a lot easier, just like the Wyvern Cannon just now. It wouldn't stagger him earlier in the first area, but now that I have him below a certain percentage, it staggers him. So that's one thing to remember, that once you get him into a second area and you know you've done a ton of damage, you should be able to get staggers off. You might want to not be greedy going for those staggers. I get greedy a lot in this video. Like I said, it was an early video. I was young, I was dumb. One other thing I did that you don't want to do is fight next to this water. Earlier when I fought him next to this water, before I recorded this video, he actually smacked me into the water and stunned me. And that just ate away at my health. And when I was able to get out of being stunned, he actually tackled me right after that and pushed me further into the water on the far side of the room. And my HP just kept chunking away and chunking away. And I didn't know what to do, so I just died. Like, I couldn't do anything else. I just died. So stay away from the water unless you know you're just a super god at dodging everything and you have Steadfast 3 on. Which I don't have Steadfast 3 on. I probably should put it on, but he doesn't stun me as often as he used to. I don't know if anything changed about his makeup, but he doesn't stun me as often as he used to. Just do yourself a favor and stay out the water. You can't actually block the water damage. I mean, that would be kind of busted. So right here is another favorite moment of mine that he does. He reels back. Looks like he's gonna do the breath or the his roar, but he just goes down. Like, he spreads the miasma and goes down, and it gives you a pretty good chance to just combo the mess out of him. And it's the good point to keep in mind that at this point you can do a lot of damage to him. Sometimes you break him out of it with your slam attack or your sweep attack, because those attacks deal like hundreds. They do like 160 if you crit or something like that. I mean, it's a good time to just get some damage in on them. Don't get greedy though, because as you see right here, my HP dropped to kind of dangerous low point. And I was like, well, let me just throw a bolster out while he's focusing on the Palico, and then I'll get ready for whatever comes next. And he does the breath attack, which I can block, thankfully. And I'm in the bolster, so I'm still getting back HP. It just lets me combo back into him again. After a certain point, you keep taking the Vitality Mantle and you realize you don't use it. I would say start the fight out with the Vitality Mantle, because it keeps you at peak performance. When I change my build up to have maximum peak performance, I will actually use the Vitality Mantle to start the fight, because that's a bonus, 20 damage I think it was? And that's really good for the start of a fight. You have a bonus 20 damage until your Vitality Mantle runs out. And that's in between me blocking as well as, you know, damaging him, keeping my HP at full. And even when that runs out, I still have the health poster to protect my HP. So this part was funny because I beat him up enough to where he had the skull symbol on the map, on the mini map. And he's supposed to go to the third area where all the miasma's built up. And I didn't realize it during this fight, but I was gonna heal up and then go up there and actually fight him. And I look at the map and he comes running back down, and I'm like, wait, why? I mean, this is great, but okay. So he comes back down and the whole fight starts again, and I'm just like, well, this is different. I've never done enough damage to him like this. So this is actually the first video I've actually dealt like damage to him while making mistakes, to where he's come back down instead of continuing on his normal path throughout the stage and then coming back down. I have learned it is possible to actually kill him in this room, and it doesn't take the flash pods, which I tried to do later on, but it doesn't take the flash pods. You just keep comboing him, and when he starts to run, if you hit him with the Wyvern Stake, the last of the Wyvern Stake in the middle of his run should stop him. I think it's like 6 consecutive hits and then the explosion from the stake. But yeah, like this part right here where he starts to stagger away, if you get the combo started like at the right time, which I can never do anymore for some reason, you can actually just stagger him out of that and kill him in this room, save yourself the trouble. And I tried really hard here to flash cannon him before he got all the way into the room and, you know, around the pedestrians, because pedestrians are really annoying. So I was like, okay, well, at least I got him back here, and, you know, this should be where the fight ends, because he has little to no HP. I've already damaged him enough to where he ran back to the second stage of the fight. So I'm not really worried about the pedestrians at this point. Like, they are annoying. They can hit you from behind and break your block, but at the point where he starts to kill them too, it becomes okay. Like, he starts to absorb everything in the room, and he kills them, so he gets them out the way. As you can see here, like, I was like, okay, he's about to do the breath. Let me get up close to him, because, like, I know now I can actually get in there and do damage. And then the last swing, I was like, okay, I'm going to go through full combo, Wyvern stake him, and then back off, sharpen, get ready for the Wyvern cannon. And he dies mid-swing. And I was like, well, that is fine, too. So, yeah, that was it. That was the fight. I mean, Vaal Hazzak tempered. And I forgot to mention that was tempered Vaal Hazzak at the beginning of the video. As you see, I did it under 14 minutes here. And this was me making a ton of mistakes. Me overextending a few times, getting smacked around a few times. So, anyone else can probably do a lot better. Now we're at the part where everyone wants to see, which is the build. As you see, I have the Anja Cannon 3. And on that, I think I have a Blaze Jewel. The main part of this set right now is the Uragan 3-piece, because it gives you the guard up ability, which gives you, it makes it so that you can block every move in the game, practically. And when I say everything, I mean everything. I have the shirt and the pants give you Part Breaker level 3. Those are in alpha, and they still give you a slot each, I believe. The boots actually gives you guard level 2, which makes it so, you know, you use less stamina to block, and you take less recoil from a hit. And I'm using the Ironside Charm to top that off at guard level 5. So I take 50% less stamina to block, and biggest moves don't really stagger me back that much. Dragon King's Eye Patch, because weakness policy, that's always great to have on. And the jewels, I believe, are Vitality 3, Fire Attack up to 3, and the Anti-Miasma 3. Now, I know the main thing is people are going to ask questions is, why Vaal Hazzak braces? They give you Peak Performance 1, which is good, but they also give you 3 slots for gems, and there aren't any other braces or gloves that give you anything as good. I've tried different combinations. I mean, I have the Rathalos set on for when I fight Teostra, because it gives you +2 fire resistance, and it gives you the extra fire resistance just for being itself, and it gives you, I think, 1 slot as well. So if you found this very helpful, or helpful at all, give the video a like, subscribe if you want to. There'll be more videos coming out, of course. And thanks for watching. And, you know, leave any helpful suggestions that you have for me based on my video making editing skills in the comments, and I'll take those into consideration. Thank you very much for watching.